Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another FlyJSim live stream. Today, it is the 27th of June 2024, minutes past 8 in the evening in the United Kingdom. And here we are at an airport we are yet to depart from. Now in Doncaster, Sheffield. I just saw one of the members actually said, where on earth is Doncaster, Sheffield, Anthony? It is not just east of the Midlands in the United Kingdom. An airport I've actually flown out of a long time ago. But today, we're going to be going eastbound on quite a short sector, only around an hour and 20 minutes, just a nice chill Saturday evening, and we're going to go check out the new, new, it's been out of a month, the Fly Tampa scenery in Copenhagen. So it's an airport which I've been wanting to fly to for some time, and it's actually to set us up for tomorrow because I'm planning on taking part on a FlyJSim event which is crossing the North Sea, and it's just to position ourselves over to Copenhagen. And of course it wouldn't be properly or correct to do it in an aircraft, which I absolutely love, and that is the FlyJSim 737-200. Now, I haven't flown this aircraft for a while, a couple of months or so. I think we last flew it from Calvi to Alicante, and I've been dying to fly it again because I absolutely love flying it. It's really rewarding aircraft to fly. Test it on the sector today is absolutely perfect because Copenhagen has some conventional arrivals as well. Hopefully we'll get some ATC as well. We can get vectored in perhaps, but we'll load the INS, go through all that as we plan to do properly. I think we've got, I was just looking at the FlyJSim map here, we've got Doncaster Sheffield Tower online as well. This scenery as well you can grab from FlyX. I picked it up in the Org store today. I think it was about $17 or 17 quid or so, but it looks really nice, an accurate rendition of this airport anyway. But here she is. We're on stand 5 here, a few other aircraft that have jumped online, and I've not done anything, not touched it, apart from put the air stairs down and open the door. There we are. Oh yeah, just a slow one. There we are. So massive thanks to FlyJSim for actually promoting this stream as well. And I always try to do my absolute best replicating as accurate as possible conventional navigation and using INS as well. So no fancy tricks today, no FMC, no GPS or anything like that. We're going to follow it all by the book as realistically as possible. The routing I've taken as well is existing airways too. We just need to program some of the waypoints into the INS and go from there. He's got the stairs down, everyone, says Hawaii345. Yeah, big risk, I might forget to retract them. Callum spotting it so small it is. I think it only has a capacity of around 105 passengers. I think we're going to take something like 90 passengers today, so it will be fully loaded as far as we're concerned. Kieran, dangerous move, putting the air stairs down. Joe Drage, time to get the beers out. Fantastic. Put your feet up. It's going to be a lovely sunset flight. And by the time we get to Copenhagen, it will be night. But the Fly Tampa scenery in Copenhagen looks so good at night. They've got spotlights everywhere. It looks so cool. But the FlyX scenery here looks really cool as well. Luca, you're watching this in a party. Amazing. Sim Aviation, nice looking livery. You can grab that as well if you go to ! livery. And this is from one of the members called Icefire. Cool. So, without further ado, I think it's worthwhile that we jump on into the aircraft. Live weather as well. It's blowing a hoolie here in Doncaster. It's around 20 knots headwind here, but gusting up to 30. But actually clear skies. At Copenhagen, the weather's looking quite nice as well. But the flight time will be a region of, I think it's an hour and 20 or so. Right, so what I'll do, because there's no boarding music here, I will turn this music down in the background there, so it's just very quiet, and otherwise we'll do the setup from scratch. So I pretty much follow the same setup as the 737NG in the Zibo mod. It works perfectly, except it's just loading up the INS. That's the only thing that's different. Right, let's get some power and get the GPU on the bus. Just trying to remember where all the stuff is. I think we'll turn that down. There we are. There we are, good, we've got some power here. Let's turn that down as well so we can still hear the music too. So, one thing I wanted to point out with the FlyJSim, I haven't been maintaining it, look. Our airframe and APU is like new, but the engines are good. And I don't know exactly what that means with regards to reliability. I don't know what is less than good when it comes to FlyJSim, but we'll keep this on. Who knows, we might get some little maintenance issues or something. And the idea is I'm going to keep going every time we fly this aircraft. I'm not actually going to do any maintenance until something goes wrong, but I remember flying in the FlyJSim 727 and then we had a few technical issues there with lights and stuff, so it is good to see they have that modelled there anyway. Magnus Nielsen says, hello boss, good day to you. Plainy thunderstorms above Hamburg right now. That is not good to see. Thankfully, we're clear of all the weather. I was hoping to have some bad weather yesterday when we went to Heathrow. Right, anyway, battery GPUs on the bus. I think we'll get the fuel uploaded very shortly. Electric hydraulic pumps can go on now as well. Ground interconnect switch. I leave it closed. I think that just provides electric hydraulic pressure to the system A flight controls. It looks. I've always left it closed. Landing gear levers down. We've got 3 green lights there. Let's do the full fire tests. Overheat, ABU detector or not. Overheat detector to amazing, it's exactly the same in the engine. Yeah, school's out. Fire warning bell, love that. Test the attend button. So we'll put the wipers to park, so knock that there. We'll put this to on for our position lights as well. Cargo fire test. Runway 20 for departure here in Doncaster. We'll tune up the ILS here, just for some guidance if we have to come back here in an emergency. Otherwise we're going to request an omnidirectional departure here because all the SIDs here are nav based. We can't actually fly them. Unless we program about 8 different waypoints for the SID, which I'm not going to do. Rudder and aileron trim 0, circuit breakers are in. Test the stall warner, airspeed warning test is done. There's no IRS, we have an INS which will load shortly, we'll put that to bright. The rest is all set. Do you like the classic Alpaca Airways paint scheme? Very late 60s. Right. So, let's see if we've got any 80s here. We have an ATIS 134905. Just make sure my volume's turned up. They're not.
Whiskey and advise aircraft type on first contact.
Right, let's grab whiskey then.
Doncaster information whiskey. Time 1850. Runway in use 20. Surface wind 230, 14 knots, cab okay.
Oh, what was that?
Temperature plus 18, dew point plus 10, QNH 1000. Acknowledge a receipt of information whiskey.
I did see something just fly
past
the flight deck there. I should think that's probably someone moving stand or something there. So we did get Doncaster Mattia, yeah. Seems okay. Runway 20, 230 at 14 knots. Cav okay, 18 degrees. And the QNH is 1000. That should indicate our elevation here in Doncaster, which is 55 feet. Close enough, 60. We've got 3 altimeters to set here. Notice how the comparator is saying altimeter. That's because we haven't set all of them. So as soon as I set this to 1000, there we are. That will extinguish the comparator light. Perfect. So let's go to programming the INS now. So I'm just going to set this to the runway QDM and course here. So this is going to be 198. That reminds me, guys, if you'd like to see, because obviously we don't have an ND or a FMC today, but if you'd like to keep progress of our route, check out my Instagram story, because I have posted or on the Instagram story the map or the routing today in SimBrief, and I've numbered every single waypoint that we're going to program onto the INS. I just see a Chanix just zip past me. So yeah, go check out the Instagram story, and then you'll be able to follow our progress as we route along. You'll be able to see on the INS which waypoint we're routing to. So we're going to program 7 waypoints to Copenhagen based on an existing airway, which links up with Lima 975. So let's go into the most time-consuming part of the stream. Annoyingly, just because of the way the sim is, the speed brake lever is exactly where I don't want it to be, so I'm going to just extend it. Just got to try and remember to stow it prior to departure, but it just makes us carry on going from there. Right, let's now get this all booted up. So, I need to try and remember how to do this. I did a test like that earlier, but let's get this to standby first. We relate to tell it our position first, so rotate to the position switch. There we are. And insert position. So we're on stand 5 here in Doncaster Sheffield. There you go, stand number 5. How's the music, guys? Is it too quiet, too loud? I can just about hear it there, but let me know how you'd like it. Where do we find all our coordinates? There we are. So stand 5, we've got 4 right, 5 Lima, 5 and 5 right. So these are the coordinates we need to do. So what the INS is, it's like IRS on the NG, but the INS is a little bit older. There's no input. It's basically a self-contained system. It's a very basic RNAV system, but it's non-GNSS equipped, so there's no GPS. It's completely internal. It just uses what music? Spot on music, no music playing. It should be very quiet. I'll just turn it up a tiny bit. So the INS is a self-contained system, so all you need to do is, tell it where you are, and then it works from that system. It just takes around 9 to 10 minutes to align. There you go from there. So we're on stand 5, so we need to tell it our coordinates where we are on the planet. So north, 53, 289, inserts, west, 001, 006, insert. There we are. So we've told the INS where we are. What we need to now do is flick this switch to align, and the alignment takes anything between, based on your latitude, the closer you are to the equator, the quicker it is. At this latitude, I'd say around 8 to 10 minutes. As you see on the IRS, when you select it on the display on the overhead panel on the 737, it should take around the same time here. There is a neat little trick where you can push that to make it go a little bit quicker, so if it has perhaps done prior to the alignment, we'll do that. So, as I said, if you go to the Instagram story, you'll be able to see this map, which I've printed out with all of these waypoints programmed. There's 7 waypoints we're going to program. Some of these black dots represent top of climb, top of descent. Just got to make sure we don't put those coordinates in. And then we're going to load every single one of these points. There's only 7 points. You can program up to a maximum of 9. If you have more than 9, what you need to do is get airborne. And then once you approach the 9th waypoint, you need to reload waypoint 0, waypoint 1 as you go on route. This is the way the guys flew around in the 747-200 Concorde. Prior to GPS, this was the most accurate kind of RNAV based system. So, first waypoint's going to be Lipso. Just select list of waypoints, select waypoint 1, and then we'll go from there. 53, 31, 5. East. Right on the Greenwich Meridian, look at that. Insert, number 2, is going to be waypoint Rovni. North, 53, 53, 2. Insert, east, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0. Insert, waypoint 3. It's going to be Odmos, and we're on the Upper Lima 975 Airways. This is an existing airway here. Next is Ropal, right over the North Sea at this stage. Insert, east, 0, 0, 3, 5, 6, 7. Insert. Number 5 is Gollum. Insert east 005117. Insert. Oops, did I do that correctly? I didn't. That's ooh. Right. Oops. Let's try that again. I think the wrong course. Let's just put the longitude in again. Let's go east. Forgot to put the 0 in the end, and that could have been disastrous. You've got to be so careful when you're doing this. There's something called input error. You know, you put one digit in, you're going to screw the entire navigation up. If I've made a mistake and you see it as obvious, tell me. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to trust myself. And what we could quickly do is you can flick for each one, and I've now know how to reprogram this in the air, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. Right, waypoint 6. Only 2 more to put in, guys. Bav to next. What have I done here? How do I reset this? Because at the moment we're on the southern hemisphere. How do I switch the hemisphere? Uh-oh. Didn't press insert on waypoint 5. Let's try that again. Thanks for whosoever that said that. Alexander, well spotted. Just testing you there. Right, we're going to leave that. I'm pretty confident it's fine. West. It was north and west, wasn't it? Yeah, northwest and the rest was east. Yeah, it's got to be correct. I swear there's a gross error check. We'll do that there. What are you faffing about, Captain? Yeah, I was just checking the distance of the gross error check, and it looks like it was quite off, but I think we'll be okay. Right, let's carry on with the rest of the scan. Cruising at 33,000 feet, this is as high as we can get today. 33,000 feet is going to be 7,100 feet. Put this to flight, otherwise you die. Elevation in Copenhagen. It is 17 feet. Sorry? ATC's calling. No. I got a message from other people on VATSIM. Someone is saying I'd love to join to Copenhagen, but I'm in Poland. And Anthony messaged me to say, rumour has it you put the flour in the dishwasher this morning. Thanks, Anthony. Right, INS is loaded, ladies and gentlemen. And the overhead panel scan's complete. Pop the logo light on as it is getting darker here. Courses are set. So we'll grab the clearance now. Oh yeah, I know what I want to check. Oh yeah, don't forget to slow the speed brake. Remember, I only got that out of the way so I could actually load this INS there. And I just want to make sure we got enough fuel for this sector. I forgot to do the fuel. That could have been disastrous. So 7.4 tons required. We'll take an extra 30 minutes just because of VATSIM. So it's at 8.8 tons. This burns a little bit of extra fuel at 2.6 tons an hour. So 1.3 on top of that. Yeah, 8.8 is perfect. 8.8, there we go. So CG's all set. We're quite heavy. Look, we're already above our max landing weight. We've got pretty much a full load of passengers. Alpaca Airways Classic line is very popular. We set the stab trip for departure as well. And we'll set the bugs as well for flat 5. Set bugs. So V1's 34, VR's 37, V2's 142 knots. Long cut, flick this switch or you'll die needs to be in a far more pilot operating handbooks. It is true. don't have that on the NG. I mean, we had the pressurization mode selector, which is the same as this, but I've noticed if you don't flick that to flight, you're in trouble. Right, let's grab the Doncaster frequency for tower. Oh, it's gone offline. Just refreshing my VATSIM maps to make sure he's definitely gone. Oh, that's a shame. We had tower, but tower's now gone offline. Alright then, guys. Well, we'll imagine we've got the clearance. What squawk should we have? Well, 2000, I guess, if we haven't actually got clearance from ATC. Right. Let's have a little bit of a chat what we're going to do. We'll get the APU started as well. Let me know in chat as well. Do you want to do a power back or do you want to do a pushback with the tug? Tower is 128775, radars 126225. Longcat, it shows me on my VATSIM, everyone offline. There's no upper sector around here. There's no tower on X-Pilot. There's no ATC here whatsoever. There was tower a few minutes ago, but they've gone. Power back, power back, power back, power. Pushback, power. Tug, power. Power back. Is there any other answer? Power back it is. So we're on stand 5 here in the corner. We're going to power back to face south. And then we're going to taxi out via Charlie. And then make a left turn onto Alpha. And then we'll blast off runway 20. Nice long runway here, nearly 2,900 metres. And our SID, well, it's omnidirectional. We have no ability to fly the conventional, or the non-conventional RNAV SIDs, unless I program about 8 different waypoints. So we're going to do the omnidirectional for runway 20, which is climb straight ahead on track 198 until we get to 3,500 feet. And then we'll turn on track climbing to en route safety altitude, or in accordance with the ATC clearance. So what we're going to do is climb straight to 3,500, route direct to the first waypoint in the INS, execute, and then we'll make a left turn inbound to Libso, which is the first waypoint. That's it, really. As I said, the SIDs here are nav based. Right, APU's up and running. And we'll get the GPU disconnected. I can't remember how to get all this stuff off. So, I think we've remembered everything. Runway heading QDM and ILS is tuned to 198. There's no ATC, so we're going to go straight up to our cruise level, flight level 330. Which is set up here for the weather radar tilt to +5. Not using the NDB. That's it, we're all good. Oh, there's an Alpaca Airways literally right on top of us. Otherwise we're all clear here. Right. So, let's go on Unicom here. Alpaca 73 Mike stand 5, engine start and stand and pushing back shortly. Someone just said there's no ATC. Yeah, I know, but that's why I'm talking on Unicom. Oh, there is! Tower's just come online again. How strange. There was no tower, but now we do have tower. I'll grab the clearance then, guys. Frequency is 128775. Doncaster Tower, back at 73 Mike, how do you read?
Alpaca 73 Mike, Doncaster Tower, very good afternoon, readability 5.
Alpaca 73 Mike, read you 5 as well. We're on stand 5, information whiskey QNH 1000, 737-200, departure clearance to Copenhagen, please.
Alpaca 73 Mike, roger, just setting some stuff up now. My client's being very strange, so I'll get back to you in just a second.
No problem at all, and we're just going to request the omnidirectional departure when you're ready with the clearance, thank you.
Roger.
Cool.
And Doncaster Tower was 344. We've given our clearance already, we're just pushing back. We'll go for taxi. We're Officer 344, roger, thanks.
What's this game, please, words? It's X-Men 11. Janine, can you switch the camera so we can see the whole plane? Of course you can. Also, we just wait for our clearance. Oh, that reminds me. Let's get the air stairs away. Would have forgotten that. Richard Wormsley, what's an omni departure? An omnidirectional departure is essentially you maintain runway heading until you get to a safe altitude and then just turn directly en route. So for example here, I don't know if it says on the charts here. On our operator's charts, gives you a little bit more information. It probably does here on one of the other charts. Doesn't, but essentially what it says on our charts is the omnidirectional departures are for non-RNAV, non-GNSS capable aircraft, or if you're unable to comply with the demands of the RNAV based SID procedure. So that is a good definition of an omnidirectional departure. I've done it several times in the NG as well. Sometimes it's preferred by ATC. You just essentially climb straight ahead to a minimal safety altitude and then you just turn en route. Airware music, what is sterile cockpit? So just during the setup I have alerts muted. We had quite a few people just say, you know, it was a bit crazy, some people are very generous and it could be one after the other, especially when I'm briefing or talking to ATC, it just stops the alerts. And we turn it off as soon as the gear comes up. Aviation 737, can you go back to Bucharest? We sure can. Alexander, the repairs, yeah I know, it's a really nice touch by the guys at FlyJSim. It's got the metal work around here where it's been dented a few times. The older the NG is as well, some of the older NGs you see more and more little patchwork here. Great aircraft, guys. So if you just tuned in, welcome. I think he's probably meant to be on a stand across maybe, but never mind. If you've just joined the stream, welcome. We are just waiting for ATC clearance. The controller's just getting a few things set up. As soon as that's done, we'll be pushing back. We are 4 minutes late at the moment. Well, I say pushing back, we'll start engines on stand, and then we'll power back from here. One music, can you visit Milano Malpensa one day? Sure can. Did we just depart from there recently, Milan Malpensa? Is that Limsey? I can't remember half the time where I've been. So, is that a bad time for an IGG disconnect joke? I miss something else there. At Toga Simulations, will we fly over East Midlands during the departure? No. We're going to be making a left turn. We're already north of East Midlands.
Doncaster Tower with
Pedro, Sim Toolkit Pro. Thank you. I always forget to turn that on.
For Doncaster Tower, hello sir. Taxi Charlie.
There you go.
Alpha, hold Alpha 7.
Thanks, Pedro. Tom, I see the fire service are ready for you.
20, left on Alpha, hold Alpha 7. 344.
There he is. Oh, it's the police. Customs. Uh-oh. Get out of the country, quick. Have a look around the airport anyway if you're interested in getting the flying scenery. I don't know if anyone's around from Doncaster. I had no idea there was even payware scenery available until I saw FlyX made this. He very kindly retweeted as well today about our stream. But yeah, you can go grab that in the Explain.org store. It's a nice little rendition. Doncaster Sheffield or Robin Hood? The 737-200? I'd like to think I could. My type rating doesn't cover the 200, no. Who asked that question? Paul, no it doesn't. My type rating is from 300 to max. so the classics, the NG and the Max I can fly. But I don't know what, if I was to actually, let's say, go to Canada and fly the 200 on the milk runs, what training I'd have to do, what conversion. Actually, you're going to cross the Netherlands, not today, a little bit too far north our routing. Well, he's taking some time, this guy, so, I can't stay here all day. If I wasn't streaming, I'd just wait, but what I'm going to do is request engine start on stand at least.
Doncaster Tower, Alpha 34 Alpha, stand full right, type Boeing 737-800, information whiskey QNH 1000, request dialogue clearance to Copenhagen. Alpha 34 Alpha, Doncaster Tower, hello again, sir. Yeah, my Euroscope is being very strange. I don't know quite what's going on, but I'm trying to work this out. Sorry, I'll get back to you as quick as I can.
So he looks like he's having a few issues, this poor guy. Well, it's completely up to you guys. If we could be patient. Got a Wizz Air taxiing out. What's the time now? It's 20:37. Let's give it another 3 minutes. Aviation 737, can you fly the A320? We've flown it in a few streams, quite recently as well. Hey buddy, Jack's just walked in. Look, let's tell jokes whilst he waits. Knock knock. Who's there? Callum, spotting that you. I'm using a different scenery, that's why I'm so close. Don't worry about it, buddy.
I'll back at Alpha Mike as you clearance when you're ready.
Alpha Mike. Alpaca 7-3 Mike, we'll take our clearance.
7-3 Mike, that was it. Alpha 7-3 Mike, you're cleared to Copenhagen. After departure, runway 20, you climb straight ahead until passing 500 feet, or the Foxtrot November Lima, 0.5 DME, whatever is later. Then turn left heading 210 degrees. At Foxtrot November Lima, 2.5 DME, establish on the Golf Alpha Mike 017 radial, and or at Golf Alpha Mike 10 DME, proceed on course. Climb flight level 60, squawk 6230.
That's a clearance and a half. Okay, so departing runway 20, climb straight ahead to 500 feet, or 0.5 DME, Fox November Lima. Make a left turn heading 210 degrees until 2.5 DME, and then we'll intercept the Gabson 017 radial till 10 DME, and then hopefully we'll then proceed en route, climb flight level 60, squawk 6230, Alpaca 73 Mike.
Alpaca 73 Mike, feedback is correct. Mike, congratulations, well done.
Oh, right, that was insane.
Who wants to go next? Oh.
Right, I think I got most of that jotted down. So
was
gonna make a note of this.
344, thank goodness I've got a fantastic working McDo. We're ready for takeoff. Well, with 344, when you're flying Airbus A320, you don't even have to fly it. Runway 20, you're clear to take.
This guy's full of the banter. Amazing. Right, so this is stage. I didn't answer this. I don't even know what the VOR for Gabston is. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'll try and comply with his clearance.
Alpha 34 Alpha, stand full right.
I'm just having a look at the Gabston VOR, see what the frequency is.
Type Boeing 737-800, request IFR to Copenhagen.
Gabston VOR is 112.8.
Alpha 34 Alpha. Good afternoon. You cleared, well, good evening rather. You cleared to Copenhagen after departure, runway 20, climb straight ahead until passing 500 feet, or the Foxtrot November Lima half DME, whatever is later. Then turn left, heading 210 degrees. At Foxtrot November Lima, 2.5 DME.
Thanks, Logcat. Just grabbed it. Thank you.
017 degree radial.
So he wants me to go.
And
Foxtrot November Lima.
10 DME.
So the India Foxtrot November Lima, guys, is the ILS. So, I mean, I'd love to try and draw this out for you.
6235. Is there any chance of the Rogang to Alpha? Are you kidding me?
That was amazing, did you hear
okay.
that?
Cleared Copenhagen, Roger to Alpha 625. Correction, 6235.
So, here's the first DME he wants me to bell to do this from. So we're going to close straight ahead, 110.95 until 0.5 DME or 500 feet. And then make a left turn heading 210 degrees, which we'll set here. And then when we're 2.5 miles away, he wants me to make a turn towards Gamston.
It's not my fault, it's the captain.
On the 017 radio.
Captain, the flipping alpaca. Alpaca 73 Mike, blame him. 73 Mike, was that for clearance?
We've got our clearance, but we'd like to request engine start on stand, Alpaca 73 Mike.
Alpaca 73 Mike, roger, hold position start only is approved.
Whole position start approved, Alpaca 73 Mike. And then we've got the Gamston VOR, which is 12.8. But as soon as I'm airborne, I'm just going to request direct. But I think I've got it all set up now anyway. This is going to be hilarious. Right, anyway, we have been cleared for engine start. What a departure clearance. Packs off. Open, AP bleeds on, anti-collision light is on, parking brake is set, transponder to out off. Yeah, just need to set our score of those 623.
And Alpaca 34 Alpha, request pushing start.
Right, so we're just going to turn the music down for the old engine start.
Right.
There we go. So let's start now. Engine number 2.
We've got approved base north Alpaca 34 Alpha.
So just 20% N2. Let's get the fuel in. Thanks for subscribing, Phoebe Stern. Welcome aboard. Findley, Findley, the fan is not spinning. Amazing. The amount of people that comment that. Right, lower pressure lights extinguished. Start now, engine number 1.
Oh, so Unicom 122, decimal later, with 344, enjoy the clearances, see you later. As long as you're not a Vaxxam governor, I don't really mind. No, definitely not.
And 1. You can see here, there's the oil pressure coming up. So actually, I wonder with the engine start, at what point. I think as soon as the oil pressure registers, you can probably put the fuel in on the 200. This ATC though, I know. I'm going to try and comply with this clearance though. I mean, I'm having a look at the Navigraph chart here. I'm just trying to see where the Gamston VOR is. So he wants us to go straight ahead here. Then Gamston outbound on the 017. So I think he wants me to fly towards Gamston first. He wants you to intercept the 017. Right, anyway, we've got 2 good starts. We'll do the before taxi flow now. Oops, I'll turn it reads off. And the rest is set. Flaps. Flight controls. Forward. Full back. Left centre. Right centre. Here comes the rudders. Full right centre. Full left centre. Here comes the recall. We would read the before taxi checklist. So we're all ready to go. We can now request the power back and go from there. Alpaca 73 Mike, request power back from stand 5, please.
Correction, Alpaca 73 Mike. Pushback is approved.
Pushback approved, Alpaca 73 Mike. Excellent, guys. So hold your headphones away from your ears. We'll turn the old sound up as well. So we're going to push back and then we'll swing the nose here to the right. And go from there. So we'll turn the old sounds here. There's the buckets. And let's power up. just come out, I think, when you select buckets. It's automatic. Ooh, yeah, don't touch the brake. That was my bad, because I just knocked the rudder pedals there. Right, just make sure the speed brake's totally stowed, which it wasn't. There we are. And now we can request taxi. Just turn those volumes back down as well. But yeah, don't brake whilst you do that, otherwise you tip over the real aircraft. Cool. There we are, a little bit calmer back in the flight deck. Alpaca 73 Mike, request taxi.
73 Mike, left on Charlie, left on Alpha, hold up. Alpha 7, runway 20.
Left Charlie, Alpha, hold Alpha 7, Alpaca 73 Mike. So, just to show you where we're going, guys.
Alpaca 3
so Alpha 7 is all the way there.
Alpaca 3 for Alpha.
Config check.
Follow the company Alpaca.
There we are, no takeoff config warning on, so we know we're correctly configured. Off we go, guys.
Follow the company, holding point Alpha.
Thank you very much for the £10 donation, Captain Lazy. Bloody Lam International Airlines, I fell asleep and missed my flight. I don't know if you can blame Lam International Airlines, but you can blame for everything. Thank you very much for the £10 donation, buddy. And Tower Alpaca 73 Mike.
Alpaca 73 Mike. Don't Tower. That's your message.
So I'm going to try and attempt your barbaric clearance. Just to make sure I'm happy, it's inbound Gampston on the 017 radial until 10 miles and then en route.
Hey, I didn't make the clearance. 73 Mike, A firm. It's proceeding 10 DME towards the Gampston VOR, and then you can essentially diverge from there. To be honest, I'm only controlling until I think it's 1500 feet QFE. So as soon as I hand you off, you can do whatever you want. Just fly as planned route.
That's great. We're going to have a go at it anyway. Appreciate the excellent clearance, nonetheless.
Oh, you're welcome.
Perfect.
Anytime.
Amazing. So we're going to do the before takeoff checklist now. So config, we checked flaps, we have 5 green lights, stab trim set for departure. Great thing with the FlyJSim, what you need to do is click that and it'll set it for you. Takeoff briefing, the packs are on, the bleeds are on, the V-speeds are set for departure. Let's just remind ourselves what they are: 134, 137, 142. They're set on the bug speeds there. Departure then, let's try and resight it. We can climb straight ahead till 0.5 DME. Unfortunately, it only gives us the ranges in whole miles, so we're going to wait till 500 feet. We're then going to make a left turn 210, and then we're going to intercept the Gampston 017 radial inbound. So I need to put the reciprocal of 017, so that's going to be 197 now. Actually, it's pretty much runway heading. So that makes it a lot easier, to be fair. So we're just going to maintain runway heading. Intercept then the 197 radial, which is on box 2. I am going to put it on box 1 now as well, which is 12.8 here.
Alpha 73 Mike, are you happy with intersection departure Alpha 7 runway 20, or would you like to backtrack the 10 yards for full length?
We could do from Alpha 7, Alpaca 73 Mike. We'll be ready in 30 seconds.
Roger.
Perfect. So he's actually a valid point, to be fair. And I've looked at the performance calculator for my operator. You know, you have to take the Alpha intersection, but you can actually use that little bit of extra there to backtrack if you need it. It could be the difference between getting off there as well.
Doncaster Tower, good evening, it's Ryan Airborne 47.
So parking brake is set. So yeah, as I said, going to climb straight at 500 feet, fly direct to Gampston. Once we're 10 DME from Gampston, we're going to make a left turn en route, squawk 6230, and I forgot to set flight level 60 here on the MCP, and then we're going to route direct to our flight plan. That's it. Checks complete. Cabin secure.
0.5 DME, whichever is later.
Perfect.
Then turn left, heading 210 degrees.
Doors closed. Checks complete.
2.5.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in on your Saturday. 640 of you watching, absolutely insane. Thank you so much. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you're enjoying me fly the 200. Well, I say enjoy flying, I haven't even taken off yet, but if you're enjoying the banter ATC, which I organised, this guy just came on and gave us some banter. And yeah, we'll have some nice INS navigation towards Copenhagen very shortly.
I can get most of that, but I'm walking 6234, not above 3,000 feet, is that correct?
Ryan 0147. You cleared flight level 60 and score 6234.
Brett, auto brake. There's no auto brake function here. You just have to brake manually.
His back is good enough for me.
Alpaca 73 Mike, ready for departure.
Alpaca 73 Mike, Alpha 7 on a 20 on the world's most barbaric clearance. You have cleared takeoff. Versus wind 20 degrees 16 knots.
Runway 20 cleared takeoff, Alpaca 73 Mike. Right, we cleared takeoff, boys and girls. So we'll put the strobes on, which we've done. Lights are on. Weather radar's on as well.
To enhance the realism of that for me.
Gotta love it. Right, MCP, there isn't much to set there. Transponder is now going to T8R8. Strobe lights are on, landing lights are on, check's complete. You get your togas in chat, guys. There is no toga in the 737-200. There's no auto throttle. I have to manage the thrust manually.
4 Alpha behind
all
the
day.
departing Alpaca 737-200 via Alpha 7, line up and wait, runway 20 behind.
Behind the departing Alpaca.
And we'll do a rolling departure if you like, guys. So takeoff thrust set is going to be 2.15% EPR. Pointing in the right direction. Let's stand those thrust levers up. Looks all good. Everything's in the green. Nothing exceeding. Let's now set takeoff thrust. There we are. Takeoff thrust set. Indications normal life force pressure on the control column. Where are we going? My antenna's got really sensitive and you tipped over. Checked. Feel like there's much crosswind. I've got no wind information, obviously. Rotate 2 to 2.5 degrees per second. That's a little bit quick, but anyway, we're airborne. Positive climb gears coming up, and pitch up to maintain around 165 knots. There we are, we're airborne. Super. Right, so what did you want me to do again? Left turn. We're now intercepting, left turn heading 210, right turn heading 210 degrees. How can you want me to do a right turn 210 degrees? I'll never intercept the radial. I'm just going to route direct to Gamston. It's impossible to do that clearance and go towards Gamston. I'm just going to route direct to Gamston now. Right, we're going to pitch up now to 220 knots. There is no clock to set on here, Mariana. Alpaca 73, right? Yeah, we're going to route direct to Gamston.
Alpaca 73, Mike. Roger, you're leaving my controlled airspace. What a coincidence. No further ATC is available. Feel free to route own navigation and enjoy the rest of your flight. So much to come on 22.8. Bye-bye.
That's all great, I really enjoyed that. Unicom 122.8, Alpaca 73, Mike. Have a great evening, sir.
Oh, you should come to Heathrow. There's a guy slaloming on the taxiway. Great.
See you later, man. Right, flaps up, no lights. Let's reduce that thrust to
And
90%.
Alpaca 34 Alpha.
We're just going to route direct to Gamston
Wait
initially.
till
A bit turbulent here. And we've got 7 miles to run. And then from Gamston, we're going to carry on the rest of the route. So I'll pop the autopilot on now. Let's go. Heading select. Indicated airspeed. Set standard 1013.
So he'll be routing direct to Gamston from his present position, which is from the south of the airfield.
And we're passing. Set 5-5 flight level 60 levelling off here, and then we'll quickly do the after takeoff checklist. We'll just go over to Unicom here as 122.8. So yeah, he told me to make a left turn heading 210 degrees, which we would have struggled to intercept the radial had we gone on that heading, to intercept the 197 radial. But we're just now routing direct to Gamston. We're so close already, it's not going to make much difference. There's 250 knots. We'll quickly do the after takeoff checklist. So gear to off, brake to off, there's no need. Start switches are off. Air conditioning and pressurization 2.0 set. Switches where we want them. And standard set passing. Well, no, level at 60. I have to take off check this complete. Just watch my speed. It's going to 250 knots. There we go. And what we're going to do now is route directed our first waypoint, program waypoint, which is Libso. So if I remember rightly, waypoint change 0, 1. We'll flick this to GPS. Even though it's not a GPS, there we are. We'll make that left turn. It's a little bit actually past and behind us. 40 miles. I hope that makes sense. We're going to route direct to this point here and go from that onwards. And as soon as we're intercepting that, I'm going to go direct to waypoint 1. And climb up to our cruise level, flight level 330.
50, 40, 30.
Thank you very much,
20,
Transplant Jank, for the £5.56 donation. I'm up very early watching from Australia, finally catching
I'm up
the stream.
very early
Sorry.
watching from Australia. Finally catching the stream live. All the beat to you and the alpaca crew.
Thank you very much. I completely forgot. I think if you donate more than £3, it does that. Off, I think it's £5. It automatically speaks to me. So thank you very much. Very up very early in Australia. Finally catching the stream live. All the best to you and the alpaca crew. Thank you very much, and thank you for being so committed to get up at this time to watch. We've just taken off from Doncaster Sheffield, and we're now on our way to Copenhagen. Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. Very adventurous start, but we are now safely on our way. We're now going to route direct to this waypoint again. So waypoint change 0, 1. There we are. We can now select Vorlock here, and that's the flight directors. Vorlock there. Actually, don't want the flight directors on. There we are. So GPS is enabled, even though it's not a GPS. I'm now going to climb up to our cruise level. So we are on Unicom, which is flight level 330. Select indicated airspeed, and then add that thrust. 90% N1's our climb thrust. In a bit of cloud here, our TAT's over 10 degrees, so we don't need any engine anti-ice. Up we go. Too much thrust there. Perfect. What a lovely sunset. So just to kind of highlight where we're going. Excuse me. Obviously we're given a bit of a gnarly clearance, but we're now we went south. We're now kind of routing northeast towards our first waypoint here. So we kind of went like this, and then we're going here. And this is our first waypoint, Libso. If you have just tuned into the stream, you can see on my Instagram story the exact routing and each INS waypoint I've programmed, so you can follow our progress here. We're currently inbound to waypoint from waypoint 0, which is our original position, to waypoint number 1, which is Libso, which is the first waypoint just here. There we are. I think that's Humberside International Airport there. There's another airport I've flown into. There's Hull. There's approaching flight level 100, so I'll accelerate and climb to at 280 knots here. Capital pitch down. Passing 101 for flight level 330 now to the post-cruise check, so fuel 4 pumps. They're balanced. We've got £18,000 in total. Lights coming off. Logo light can come on as well.
Minimum.
Thank you very much, Gordon Bergstrom, for becoming a member. Welcome on board, sir. Glad you're enjoying the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chat as well. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Diff pressure 3.9 climbing and set. I think we're going to release the cabin crew. Release the passengers. Recall. There we are. The pre-cruise checks are complete. No clock here, there's no elapsed timer on here, so can someone do me a massive favour, play the stream back, and then count how many minutes ago it was, so we can actually work out my takeoff time, and then I'll fill in the flight log and keep you posted. So what is it now? It's 21:01 local, so Zulu 2001 Zulu, so it's only around 4 or 5 minutes ago.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Philip Reed, for the £5.
Wave as you pass Hull.
Thank you very much, Phil. There we are on the left-hand side then. There's Humberside Airport. I don't think the bridge is modelled, but I am waving. There you go, there's my mouse. Thanks a lot, Phil. $19.54 UTC, thanks guys. Let's call it 19.55 for easy mouse. So we're 15 miles away, and the DME distance here is linked to the INS. So if I move this to distance time, you'll see there it'll correspond 13:30. 2 minutes to go until we get to that first waypoint, which is Lipso. And then from Lipso, we're going to intercept the Upper Lima 975 airway to Rovni. Captain Monster, good night everyone, thanks moderators, such an awesome help. Thanks Marianne, FlyJSim for awesome live stream every time, thanks and bye everyone, have a great evening Captain Monster. Kurosh, what's the thing below the dome light switch? This, service interphone, or below the dome light switch. This, it's the lights for the circuit breaker. For the pedestal. So, it's exactly the same as the NG. There's a little light here, I don't know if it's modelled. And it would shine down here to illuminate the pedestal. So when you turn this panel brightness up, floodlight up, there you go, you see how that floodlight's lighting at the pedestal? The light's coming out of there, but it's not modelled. Philip Reed, some thunder around, will it affect your flights? I think this does show weather radar. It does show weather. Nothing on our track. The forecast at Doncaster is lovely. Clear skies. FlyJSim's in the house. I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you very much for popping in for the stream. Thank you very much for promoting it as well. We're so far so good. Just passing the first programmed waypoint in the INS. We're now en route to waypoint number 2, which is Rovni. Just here. Makes sense, look. Distance 29 miles between Lipso and Rovni, and it now says 27. We've just passed it. That's good. 4 minutes to go. A computer cabin. In reality, do you use a tablet to display charts of the flight deck? I do. In fact, I have my work iPad, which is our electronic flight pack right in front of me. It has all the charts for today's flight. We don't really make reference to the en route charts that much. Frodo, why is there a red flag on the attitude indicator? That's your glide slope zone. I don't have any ILS tuned, so there's a glide slope flag there. We'll see when we go to Copenhagen. We tune the ILS, and it gets identified. The glide slope flag will disappear. We got all the developers here. Not only FlyJSim, but Felis Leopard's here as well. The guy behind the Tupolev TE154. Felis, I must apologise because I think I've been saying to you for the past month, I'll fly the Tupolev next week. It's like 4 weeks later now. I'm so sorry. As I keep saying, we will, I promise, jump back into it very soon. I hope you're doing well. I can't really help answer your question. Oh, I've got FlyX as well. FlyX, Doncaster Scenery developers here. The aircraft FlyJSim, Feetless Leopard. I love promoting all of you guys. You all make some fantastic work. Will be, I know it's early, but what's our approach looking like such at the runways? There's no ATC, unfortunately. But there is tomorrow. As I said, this is why we're doing this stream. We're positioning for the North Sea event tomorrow, which we'll do in the mod. Right now in Copenhagen, the wind's 180 at 7 knots, so it'd probably be runway 22 left in real life. Is anyone can have a look at flight radar and see what they're landing on? And we can plan on 22 left because there's a nice procedural approach here to flying. And I want to show you how you can reprogram the INS in flight as well. create some new waypoints, which I was practicing doing today. FlyX, no problem at all, and we'll definitely, now I have the scenery, we'll fly into Doncaster as well. Tutu right was today, Tutu left is closed until the 30th of June, so they're using Tutu right 04 left. Well, for the sake of realism, we'll land on Tutu right, which is usually the takeoff runway for Copenhagen. I've been to Copenhagen quite a bit in real life, but we could do Tutu right. And then instead of the Tutu right, it's going to be the Tunlo 2 Charlie. Quite a short flight, guys, so we'll be touching down in around an hour. Some lighting on in here. It'll be dark by the time we land. We are flying away from the sunset, so we're going east, northeast. Izuku, how do you remember your call sign on days when you have 4 sectors? I struggle. Yeah, it can be quite hard. I have it written down, I have a little cheat sheet which I keep with me, so whenever I do the next sector, I have the call sign right in front of me. So here's Rovni. We're just about to fly over the top here. We're going to make a right turn northeast bound to the next waypoint, which is Odmos again. I know I keep pushing it, but if you want to see exactly where we are geographically, go check out the Instagram story. I have planned routing here, all the waypoints I've programmed, I've put in a numerical order for you so you can follow our progress. Kai Parker flew into Manchester on FlyJSim and the approach controller told me runway 23 left for landing, and when I was on approach tower then switched me to 23 right. That can happen, Kai.
50,
side steps
40,
are quite
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Neil Brad, for the £10 donation.
Long time watcher and really about time I made a donation to support this excellent entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Neil and Brad, for the £10. Very generous of you, sir. Long time watcher, really about time I made a donation to support this excellent entertainment. Thank you. That's very, very kind. Brian, like, this bird is so cool. I love the instrumentation, busy flying, but so rewarding. Yeah, Brian, it is a very rewarding way to fly. Now, obviously, right now, as long as you've got the INS program correctly, the workload's reasonably light. There's no auto throttle, and in the climb, it's a fixed thrust, which FlyJSim, I think they say on their little checklist here, it's where is it? Here at the bottom. I think they say just leave it at 92%. It's nice to follow this. What you find if you leave the thrust firewalled all the time in the FlyJSim, the engines catch fire, which is not ideal. Yeah, 92% for climb, and then we'll transition to Mach decimal 7.4 and get higher. Thank you very much. I don't know why that's not pinged up, but thank you very much, Christopher, for your donation there. I personally can relate to that green mossy gear lever. Man, how I miss catching up with you guys and watching the streams live. It's been a while. Thank you very much, Christopher. Yeah, that's definitely a name I haven't seen for a while, so thank you very much for coming back in. Yeah, that is a gear lever that's seen some action up and down many a time. But that's why I love the guys at FlyJSim have made it look really rustic, especially with the work on the exterior model. We'll do actually, you know, let's have a little look outside. I'll turn the sound down so we definitely hear. Where's my stapler? So if you don't know, guys, I put the stapler on the arrow so I can let go of the keyboard. Well, it's not a stapler, no, it was a stapler first, but the stapler was too light. It's my sellotape reel. My sellotape reel is now on the keyboard so I can be hands-free. Kurosh, does the autoland function have a wind limit? I don't believe the 200 has any capability with autoland, but the 800, yes. Max for crosswind component. Oh my god, off the top of my head, I can't remember them now. 20, yeah, 20 knots, 25. I should know these off the top of my head, but it's been so long since I've looked at it. Every time we do an auto land, we have to review them anyway. But it's 10 knot tailwind, 25 knot headwind, 20 knot crosswind, I think, off the top of my head. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Love that Marlow lit, amazing. So here we are over the North Sea. And there is Copenhagen. Copenhagen. I don't know how it's spelled like that. I like how the map has all the spelling in the represented language. There's Doncaster Sheffield. There is Copenhagen. I love this touch by the guys at FlyJSim. The kind of little repair work you see here, which you'd see on an aircraft now. What was it? How old is it? 40 years? 200 now, at least. Flight tape to cello. Unbelievable. It's a beautiful, beautiful model aircraft, this one. I've been itching to fly for a while. I wasn't planning on streaming today, but I was going to do the one on Sunday, and I thought, Copenhagen, new flight time scenery, and you guys want to be starting Copenhagen. It would be a great flight to go there. And someone suggested, the members, let's go from Doncaster. I thought, yeah, that's great, we haven't been from there. And it was just perfect. I love these hops in this aircraft. We're crawling up our way anyway, maintaining 280 knots since 10,000 feet. Obviously, if you maintain a fixed indicated airspeed, your Mach number will increase. As soon as we get up to decimal 74, we'll start winding back the speed. Now, from my understanding, the Sperry autopilot had no Mach hold function, only indicated airspeed. So, to maintain a Mach number in the climb, you just have to slowly reduce your indicated airspeed once you get to the point at which you transition. Currently routing now direct to waypoint number 3, which is almost 6 minutes away. Sluggish now, we're very heavy, remember, we've got a full load of passengers. Not as heavy as we could be. Maximum takeoff weight was 54 tons and we took off at 47, so we took off around 6 tons below the maximum takeoff weight. Our gross weight is just below the max landing weight now, 47.7, we're at 47.4, the full load of passengers. All got the carry-on bags today. No baggage. We checked it. No bags to hold. But look at this. I don't want to set much beyond 92%, just to keep everything within limits. We're barely doing 500 feet per minute. So sluggish bird. One of the beauties of this is no FMC, so even though it's a different runway, I don't need to program anything else. I just need to look at the chart and then move the needles, the courses, and change them in. It's all good. James MP, do you find it confusing getting your head around remembering all the different types of airspeeds? Not really, James MP. I mean, from a practical point of view, we're only interested in one, which is really the indicated airspeed, and above a certain level, the transition altitude, well, the transition point to max around 24,000 feet, we worry about Mach number. Obviously, calibrated airspeed to airspeed, the instrumentation is converting it all into useful speed that we can use every day. But, it's been a long time since I've used or calculated, worked out how to calculate any of those speeds. Christopher W, such a therapeutic flight, yes. We don't have 90 seats today, we have 20 lay flat beds with masseuses. see someone answered a question for Captain Lego. Were you asking about flaps there? Alan Hughes, thank you very much for dropping that message to me on Facebook. I think I got back to you. I'll say good night now. Going to sort out my good lady's drink and medication. Enjoy the rest of your flight. We'll watch the rest another time. Thank you very much, Alan, for popping in. And for your continued support. Have a lovely evening. Dave, no ATC at Copenhagen. I know, which is a shame. But there will be tomorrow. Guys, will be streaming tomorrow around... I haven't decided yet. The events all day, so probably I think 4 or 5 PM to start. It's going to be a 2-sector day. So we'll try and write the quiz. As it's 2 sectors, I might not do the butter or go around challenge, but we'll definitely do the quiz. We'll definitely do the merch giveaway, and we're going to be going from Copenhagen. It was voted that we then go to Leeds, Bradford, and I think the weather forecast is atrocious tomorrow, so 25-30 knot crosswinds. And then from Leeds, Bradford, for the first time, we're going to be going to Cork. We're going to be going to Cork. FlyJSim events galore. These are the ones I picked out. It was the North Sea event and also Corker hosting event as well. So don't forget to tune in. 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow. I haven't decided. And that stream will be around 3.5 hours. And then I will be taking a break for a few days. Probably next stream won't be until Thursday. The Smoothie Project. Do you need to change frequency every time you enter someone's airspace? So ATC will either notify you via VHF or nowadays CPDLC. What I want to show you here is typically when you cross what they call an FIR boundary, which you see here, you'd expect a frequency change. My operator, whenever we have this here, we put a fixed ring in around it to remind us we can expect a radio change. So we're currently routing inbound to Odmos, and after Odmos we go from, I think, London to Scottish, and then from Scottish at Ropal, we'll go from Scottish to Copenhagen radar. And these are called FIR boundaries, flight information regions.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Robson, for the £5 donation.
Awesome streams, Captain. Jumping in while my 8-week-old puppy Cassie has a nap.
Oh, thank you very much, Robson. Yeah, I think we've seen a picture of this puppy, haven't we? Awesome stream, Captain, jumping in while my 8-week-old puppy Cassie has a nap. What breed was it again? Robson or Marianne will probably tell me. She just ran behind me because it's absolutely pouring now with rain behind us now, and the window nearly flew open. Oh, thanks. Yeah. She's had to run off to the bedroom because there's rain pouring in. Captain Lego, hi boss. I asked whether you'd always use flap 5 of the NG for takeoff. Boris kindly answered Captain Lego. I think I might be able to cater for your question even in an even more detailed fashion, because I have a tutorial on this which I did years ago. If I can find it. Yes, here it is. Filmed back in December 2017. I uploaded this on New Year's Eve. Fascinating. Have a look at this and this tutorial, guys, if you're interested. It kind of explains all the different flap settings we use for departure. Why is DME increasing, says Christopher W. That DME is based off the Gamston VOR, mainland UK, which is still tuned on NAV2. NAV1 here is linked to the INS. And we're just overhead, I think it's Odmos now, rushing direct to Ropal. And that DME distance you can see is from Ropal.
$50, $40, $30, $20.
Thank you very much, Max Fernstad, for the £10 donation. Very kind. He says, like the new music. Have a
like
great stream.
the new music. Have a great stream.
Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting that some of them set off Microsoft Jill. Oh, thank you very much, Max. Yes, the music has certainly been a very popular thing. I started doing it around 3 or 4 streams ago, and it just adds a little bit of nice atmosphere. But thank you very much, Max, and continue support. I imagine you're enjoying the music as well.
50, 40.
Thank you very much,
30,
Modern
20,
Nerd, for the
10.
£2 donation. It says, hello, FlyJSim. On Wednesday, I go back to work with my Orange Airline on airport standby and also flying to Amsterdam. I haven't been in the galley since January when my last flight was in Innsbruck. Happy landing. So thank you very much, Modern Nerd. I hope you're very much looking forward to going back to work. I'm dying to go back to work, but we have planned redundancies in my airline, which I'm probably going to announce within the next few weeks. Again, I don't like to talk about it too personally, but I'm glad to hear you'll go back to work and enjoy going back. And, yeah, I mean, I last flew Modern Nerd November last year. It's been 7 months, the longest period in my entire flying career from when I started flying 14 years ago, getting my license and stuff. And I haven't been in an aeroplane since. Just not only was it COVID-19, but I took the winter off on the contract. But yeah, looking forward to hopefully getting back airborne soon. Look at that, only one to go. We're airborne at 55, and it's taken us 30 minutes to get to 32,000 feet. Oh, I know why it's been really struggling. Look at that. I forgot to bring the speed back. Remember what I was talking about? Where were you in chat, guys? We're doing back decimal 77. Now I bought the speed back. Look how the nose is shooting up. To pitch to maintain that speed. That's going to get us right up to 330. There we are, out hold. And we'll just reduce that thrust back slightly once we level off to maintain about Mach decimal 74. That's it. It's a little bit of a higher workload because you just have to monitor that thrust yourself. And we're going to be sat up here only for around 25-30 minutes before we start our descent again. Not long to go at all. So I'm just carefully monitoring the airspeed just to make sure it stabilises. What I'm going to do here, guys, is just tune a VOR because we are flying over the sea here. 12.8, same as Unicom. 12.8, and this is the Corsa VOR which we're going to be using for our arrival. And I don't think there's any ATC, so in fact I'm going to go 12.8 on box 2, 12.5 on box 1. This will be the procedural approach for ILS 22 right into Copenhagen. There we are, we made it. Gordon Berg's on the Seaver is so good, love it. Used it on a DC-3 on a World Around tour many years ago. Amazing, on a DC-3, wow. So, this is the Seaver. I can go a little bit of a brief overview of it for you guys. I only learned to use it around 2 or 3 months ago. I've been holding it off because I was pretty nervous and scared about using it, but once you, it's like anything, once you know how it works and stuff, it's a useful system. So again, you check the Instagram story, we're routing from waypoint 3 to 4. Waypoint 4 is at Ropau. We're 2 miles away, and you'll watch this, the aircraft is going to sequence to the next waypoint very shortly. There's 1 mile. Waypoint 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So we're now routing from Ropau direct to Gollum. So there's a right turn east, 50 miles to Gollum. And you can program up to 9 waypoints. Any waypoint you wish, you just need to find the longitude and latitude. Punch it in, and then follow the kind of tutorial, well not tutorial, the streams where I've used it. Don't turn this switch in flight, especially if you're in the North Sea like this, you've got no way of navigating conventionally.
$50, 40, 30, 20.
Thank you very much, Jacob McGregor, for the £5 donation. I hope you enjoyed the ATC today. I think I need a drink. Jacob McGregor, it's you! Thank you very much, Jacob, for going online and providing us the most amusing departure clearance I'd ever heard. I can barely remember it now. We're talking like 500 feet, 0.5 left turn. That left, I think it was that left turn you gave me though, 210. I would have never been able to intercept the radial you wanted into Gabston, so I kind of just went direct to Gabston after departure, and then and that was it. But thank you so much for your exemplary ATC. It was very amusing, and look forward to you perhaps providing a service again in the future. Have a great evening, sir. Matthew Schmidt, so cool to hear you mentioning Corsa VOR, my home country. Yay! We're going to be routing directly overhead the Corsa VOR today. Finn, I'm going to head off for tonight. Didn't have much sleep last night, so having an early one. Have a safe flight, and I hope it's a smooth landing. Thank you very much, Finley, again for now helping out running the streams, which I understand from Mariana you're enjoying doing, and it's thoroughly deserved. So congratulations upon that, and thank you very much for your continued support as well. And we'll catch up soon. So yeah, the INS, self-contained system, you can get all sorts of information. I like to leave it on this page, so this is the distance between your next waypoint. So waypoint number 5, which is Gollum, we're 32 miles away, 4.3 minutes until we get to Gollum. It can tell you your wind, so wind's 195 and 48 knots, so coming in this direction, which makes sense. You can see how the track deviation is slightly to the left. Your waypoints you've programmed, so program number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can program 8, 9, and then once you get to the 9th one, you can go to 0, reprogram again. And what I'm going to do is a sort of demonstration. Waypoint number 7, which I programmed, is the Corsa. Oh no, it's Tudlow, which is the beginning of the arrival. What I'm going to do is program number 8 in flight, which is the Corsa VOR, and then we can compare the two, which is really cool. You can back up everything with INS. I was playing around with it today, but I just like to keep it in. Distance in time. You can route direct to any of the program waypoints as well at any stage. If ATC wants you to route to a waypoint and it's not programmed, you'd have to say unable unless you know the coordinates. If you knew the GPS or knew the latitude and longitude, you can program it route direct to that way, I guess. I'm just going to add a little bit of thrust. Look, speeds creep back to 0.73. What's the condition of our engines? They're good. Been ticking away, look, for nearly 13.5 hours. Computer Captain, the Siva would be a godsend for me, still using the Captain Sim 737-200 FSX. Unfortunately, without it modelled, I have to stick to conventional navigation. Well, the conventional navigation is still very rewarding, but you'd struggle to go across on this sort of routing, North Sea. I'd quite like to do a long flight in the FlyJSim 737-200, like 5 hours, or the 727. Another thing I want to learn to do with the INS, still haven't done it, is DME updating. So the INS navigation, same as an IRS on the 737, it loses accuracy over time unless you update its position using conventional navigation. So you can use the, I think you can use a DMA fix from either one or I don't know how many stations you need to update its position. And it's incredible. I mean, the technology of this. I mean, the CFA INS. I mean, this is 50s, 60s stuff. I think, or 60s stuff. 60 years old. David Tribble, how do you become a member? If you're watching this on your mobile, you'll be able to do it, but if you go on a desktop browser, you should see a join button for your membership. You get invited to our exclusive members-only Discord. I do a few little private streams there. I do a monthly members group flight for the guys. You can chat to me whenever you wish. You get your custom emojis in chat as well. Joe Drade's question is, do you prefer the 727 or the 737-200? Tough question. I prefer this, just because the lineage of the 737 series, it's very transferable, but the 200 I do love as well. Our FlyJSim 737-200 is currently in Greenland. We streamed it down around 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've been doing so many streams the last 2 months, I've lost track of where we've been and what we've done. It will come to an end at one point though, when I come to returning back to work, fingers and toes crossed. And I'll have to drop down to doing a weekly stream. Declan Lee, you love the retro livery on this aircraft, it's cool. Sun setting now. Oh, thanks guys to that suggestion of the cloud fix. I didn't get a chance to have a look at it today, the cloud art fix, but I'll perhaps take a look tomorrow.
Minimums, 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 approaching minimums.
Thank you very much, CB, for your membership. Welcome on board, sir. I'm glad you joined the content. You will get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat as well. Thank you very much for the support. Appreciate it. Computer Captain, maybe someday I'll own a PC capable of running the FlyJSim 737 X-Plane. Well, actually, I think the FlyJSim is a very frame-friendly aircraft. I mean, what am I getting at the moment? I'm getting 65 FPS. I mean, obviously, I've got a decent enough PC to run it and stuff, but there's other payware aircraft that don't get the same performance. The sun's just gone below the horizon now. I love the old school rotating beacon light on it as well. Stu Terrell, hi Captain, thanks for the streams. I'm a paramedic in the UK. I rewatch your videos on night shifts when I get a chance, and they're a good morale boost, Stu. Well, thank you very much. Mariana would like to perhaps become a paramedic, so you're doing a great job as well. I remember the 757 dropping down to 19 FPS. Yeah, I had a few issues with that. That was to do with the screen add-on I used, but I've streamed it a couple of times since. I've had no issues since getting rid of the screen add-on. Frodo, check speed. Good point, actually. Decimal 7.5, tad fast. Very good. So we'll just take a little bit of thrust off there. There we go. Don't mind going a little bit faster. I'd rather go a little bit faster than a little bit slow. Lighting turned up. Yeah, I need to look at that cloud art fix. If that fixes these kind of ridiculously bright clouds, that'd be great. They're so bright. Debate for 9. What percentage M1 does the autopilot you use in the climb, and is it always constant? It changes typically as you climb. Your N1 will increase. All calculated by the EC. On an aircraft like this, though, yeah, you just leave the thrust where it is. Niels, is that FPS issue for the modern avionics package for the 757? Yeah, it is. It's exactly the issue I had personally. As soon as I got rid of it, it seemed to work. I did a stream with that avionics package and it just killed my performance. And I saw a few other issues. People had that same issue. Others didn't, so it could be very much specific on your rig. But without the avionics package, it's all going to get good performance. Simboy, do you wish that X-Plane 11 had a camera app like Chaseplane? It must be quite annoying and it would be easier with something like Chaseplane. Simboy, the X-Plane 11 has the best default camera system for any desktop simulator. It's so good. You can just sort of, I hold down the right click now and I can just look around wherever I wish. The arrow keys, up, down, left, right, and then dot and comma to move back and forwards. You can assign views wherever you wish. So my numpad, I have all my views signed. 1, Captain, 2, MCP, 3, FMC or INS in this case, 4 is the overhead panel, 5 is upper overhead panel, 6 is the pedestal, 7, wing view, left, 8, wing view right, and then 9 is the first officer, and then 0 I have for the amateur. And I have all the aircraft, the commercial aircraft, assigned pretty much the same way. White clouds, yeah, that's the that's where the sun comes in from. We always do something really strange. I just realised that Captain Lazy, you've bought a FlyJSim mug. Now we've made some changes to the notification system. It doesn't seem to be notifying when people get something from the Teespring store. So thank you very much, Captain Lazy. I just saw that notification come up, but it's not coming up on Streamlabs. I have the merch box ticked, but thank you so much anyway. Usually it comes up bling, but it is off at the moment. Is it Freckles? I turned it off. I actually unsynced it from Discord and Teespring. That's how Mariana found out. It wasn't actually coming up on the stream. Right, so, have you noticed how the DME is counting down here? This, DME2, should be the Corsa VOR. So we're only 173 miles away, and I'd like to start our descent 70 miles from Corsa. I'll show you how I calculated that very shortly. So we have around 100 miles from top of descent. Now routing direct to waypoint number 6, which is Bavta. So far, so good. We're approaching mainland Denmark very soon. Right, so I'm just going to mute the music now because I'd like to talk about this approach, how we're going to fly it. Let's just double check see if there's any ATC here in Copenhagen. There isn't. It looks like they're landing on... We've got one. It's quite funny because I think we've got one aircraft approaching on one runway, 04 left, and one is just landing on 22 left. Could be quite interesting. Looks like most guys are going around onto 22 right though. So it could be quite interesting. We'll stay on the network and try and negotiate our way via Unicom. But there's our top of descent point, 54 minutes into the flight. And I'll show you how I calculated all this shortly. We'll get the charts up for Copenhagen now. So the arrival we're going to be flying is the Tudlow 2 Charlie. The beauty is all the conventional... this one. All the conventional arrivals are on one page for Tudlow, which is great. This covers every single runway here. And we're going to be doing the Tudlow 2 Charlie, which is for runway 22 right. This is a conventional arrival, very simply. Takes us direct to Tudlow and then to the Corsa VOR, which we have tuned on Nav2 now. And then you just go off on a heading from ATC, which is great. What we're going to do, because there's no ATC, is fly the procedural approach into Copenhagen. For 22 right, I have been advised, as 22 left is closed in real life. Minus 22 right. There we go. And then what the airport chart. And then the parking stats. Okay, so our INS system is going to eventually take us to waypoint number 7, which is Tudlow. We're currently routing towards Bavta. So Bavta, we are 5 minutes away, 38 miles. Once we get to Bavta, we are going to route to this waypoint, which I programmed at the start, which is Tudlow. From Tudlow, we're going to route direct via Lugas to Corsa, the VOR Corsa 112 display. Now, we are flying...
50, 40,
thank you
30,
very much, Passenger Escobar,
20,
for the £5 donation.
10.
Let's hear what you have to say here.
Did Mariana tell you the good news? Sorry I haven't been around in a while. Hope you're doing well.
Well, thank you very much, Passenger Escobar, for the £5 donation. Passenger Escobar's Mariana says, did Mariana tell you the good news? Say again? Ah, Passenger Escobar, everyone, who's often launching around in the back of the Zebo mod. Because they're now opening the borders, they will... say again? Oh, she's your fiance's flying over to see you, Passenger Escobar. That's fantastic news. Well, thank you very much. I've just heard your good news. So thank you very much indeed. Say again? I didn't know. Mariana's talking to me in the background. It's very distracting.
30,
Thank you very much, Ingrid.
20,
0002 for the £3
10.
donation as well. It says, hello, Captain. Hope all is well. Just checked in. How is the old tank doing? Best regards to all. Ingrid 0002, thank you very much. The old tank is chuffing along quite nicely. Smoke pouring out the rear of the engine, so we're doing it excellently so far. And we've just started the briefing now. You've covered it at a superb time. So, Tudlow, direct to the course of VOR. There's holding at Lugas if we've not been cleared. How do we know where Lugas is in relation to this? Well, you can just tell by the DME distance. So if we had to hold at Lugas without an FMC, you just wait until you're at 24 miles from Corsa, or 23.8, and then make a left turn, and then you do a time to hold here. Was it distance? No, it is a distance there. So you do it from there. But what we're going to do is go from Corsa direct to Castrop. So once we go there, we're going to fly this procedural approach, because there's no ATC. I could do it in vectors and headings as well, but we'd do it if there's no radar. If there's no radar, you'd fly these procedural approaches. So we're going to route direct from Corsa direct to then the Castrop VOR. So we have Corsa active on box 2. Sorry, Castrop is active on box 2, so I'm going to put it here 12.5 as well. And I want to have Corsa 12.8, I'm just going to move it to this side, so I always have the active side on the left where possible, so it's like that on the NG. There we are. So we still have the distance 135 miles. We're going to ident the VOR, make sure it's correct anyway. Once we go to Castrop, we want to make sure initially descent restriction wise, look, we're going to be flying the Tudlow 2 Charlie, so for the Tudlow 2 Charlie we need to be at or below flight level 110 at Corsa. So we're going to aim to do that, we'll try and comply with the restriction. And then we're going to have a level segment at flight level 110 for quite a while because we need to get all the way over towards Castrop. Once we're overhead at Castrop at flight level 110, I'm going to commence that descent. We do go outbound for quite a way, so we should be able to do it from flight level 110, outbound till 18 DME from the VOR, which is here. And then when we turn final, we won't be on around a 17-mile final because the VOR is a little bit to the south of the station. We'll be on around a 14-mile final. I want to aim to be around 5,000 feet turning final to put ourselves on for a nice ILS approach there. And that's just 3 times your height, so I'll work that out. So that's it. We'll go down after Castrop. We'll descend from flight level 110 to 3,000 feet, outbound 17 miles on the 021 radial from Castrop. We'll set all the courses here as applicable. And then we'll make that left turn, intercept the localizer and ILS, and then land. The minimums, category C aircraft here, is 220 feet, so it's quite hard to set here. We've got no way of bugging that. We can bug it here, just so we get kind of an MDA call out, or a DA call out. I'm just going to set the radio altimeter to 206. There we are, and at least we get the MDA light up, because that's all based off the radio altimeter on the FlyJSim aircraft. And that's it. Runway 22 right, it's the non-standard landing runway. It's 22 left usually, but we're following real world procedures based on the fact that 22 left is closed, so to be landing on 22 right with the forecast wind today. We'll plan to vacate at Alpha 8, 3,600 metres, plenty long enough runway here, so we're going to go order brake to minimum. Plan to vacate at Alpha 8. It's on a high speed, so we need to bring our speed back to 10 knots here. You can see, look, it's not designed to be landed on because there's no high speed exit for us there. And then from Alpha 8 we're going to taxi onto stand. We'll go in via Alpha, cross here. Very complex here, you could easily get lost, so make sure you carefully follow your guidance. Essentially we're just going to go straight ahead and find a stand first. But the scenery, flight time, looks absolutely sensational, especially at night with the floodlights as well. So how do I work out our top of descent point? Well, it's quite simple really. We know that we want to be at Corsa at flight level 110, and we're at 33,000 feet. So remember that equation I told you guys? To take 3 times the amount of height you need to lose to work out what you need to do. So if you take 33,000 feet minus 11,000 feet, that gives you 22,000 feet. So 22, we use that figure, times that by 3, it's 66. So ideally 66 miles will descend. Let's call it 70, shall we? I've just rounded it up. Why have I rounded it up? Because that's a restriction, I don't want to bust it. So 70 miles from Corsa, so when we see the DME2 is down to 70, we'll initiate our descent to make sure that we're level flight level 110 by Corsa. That's it, guys. Landing performance-wise, again, we'll update them when we get closer. We'll use flat 30 today. Set bugs for landing, and then I think we'll need to update that because it's based off the current gross weight. That's it. Briefing's complete. And don't get confused with your DMEs, guys. This is the DME distance now to Tudlow. So we're currently now inbound to the Tudlow waypoint here. we're on existing airways as well. We're on the Lima 983 airway at the moment, from Bath to Tudlow. And this, guys, is the last programmed waypoint in the INS. I only programmed 7 waypoints. From Tudlow, we're going to go conventional. But what I'd like to show you is once we're inbound to Tudlow, we'll intercept the 251 radial inbound to Corsair. I'll actually program waypoint number 8 as Corsair, so I'll do that en route. Now, annoyingly, the JEPI charts don't show you the latitude and longitude, but my operator's charts does. So the Corsair VOR is at north 55, 26 minutes 4 seconds, east 011, 37, 9. So I can program that once we're tracking the radial inbound. I know this is a bit heavy, guys, and especially if you're not really up to your IR with your IR terminology and stuff, but I'll try my absolute best to explain what I'm doing at what stage. Look at these white clouds. You wouldn't see these clouds not without a full moon, and even a full moon it wouldn't be this bright. Nicholas pointing at that NOTAM as well, that 04 right, 22 left is closed. If anyone comes in at the approach stage and says why you should be landing on 04 left, you'll have to put them in their place. Say, hey, I work for Alpaca Airways, I check my NOTAMs. And Neil Griffiths, love the channel, quick and properly. Stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question, especially in aviation. Where is the cruise flight level on a flight plan? So, with SimBrief, the flight planning tool I use, you select the assigned flight level, you can leave it automatic. But you'll find it on the first page here. Flight level 330, which is where we're at. So only 25 miles to top ascent, DME2, actually something we forgot to do, which is quite important. Just checking something else there, guys, give me a second. Doing something there. There we are. So let's double check, make sure the Corsair VO is tuning correctly. So nav 2. So listen to this. So that's the VOR ident, the nav ident, so we know we have the correct VOR tuned. You'll now get a higher pitch. Well, there's the nav 2 again. Turn that off. And we'll check the DME distance as well, which will be a higher pitch tone. Any second now. They are. Kilo Oscar Rome has been identified, so we're happy that we are following the correct nav 2. That just reminds me of my instrument rating, where you're trying to single-handedly fly this Scenic around with an engine failed, and you're tuning different VORs, trying to get the ident up. God, my left leg's shaking. Left leg engine's dead. Remember all that. There you are, 10 miles from top of descent. Rebecca Tiller, Captain, thank you so much for doing these streams. I love the addition of the background music. I think I've been watching you for 2 years now. I never tire of your streams. Thank you. Yeah, that's when you notice you skip leg day. Luke, hello there. Quiz and giveaway today. Giveaways on the Sunday stream and the quizzes too. I'll have to rustle something up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we're doing Copenhagen, Leeds, Cork. I'll have to try and find a time when to squeeze in the stream. I don't think I've done a 2.6 today on a Sunday for a while. That's it, dead foot, dead engine. That's the easiest way, Cam, to remember which rudder to use. Right, no ATC. Oh look, there we are, so we know we're going roughly in the right direction. If we looked at this chart, then the airplane was doing this. We've done something wrong. Course then, flight level 110. 2 miles to go, guys. Start reducing that thrust. Select indicated airspeed. Down we go, top of the censored chat. Let's go for around 275 at the descent. Down we go. We are now over head Denmark. Captain Monster, please tell us the Wednesday 737 Sim story, please, please, please. And I'm sorry if I'm behaving like a small little child. You always seem to. You young ones, you the young members, you do ruffle some feathers. All it was, guys, I had my recency sim on Wednesday, and I might have accidentally said alpaca instead of Japan. I mean, I said alpaca. And I'm going to say, and when I go back flying, I'm so going to say alpaca to ATC. It's going to be incredibly embarrassing. So 60 miles from Corsa in November. We are routing direct to Tudlow. Just before, when this gets to 5 miles, we're going to switch off INS navigation. We're going to go to conventional nav. Go from there. Guys in the 200 used to fly around everywhere on the barber's pole. Anita Odell, when did you get your ATPL? Well, I finished flight training with a frozen ATPL, and I flew that until I had the minimum amount of hours, and then I got my full ATPL back in around 2014. But I had around 1500 hours on the 737 then. Into the white cloud abyss. A smidgen of engine NTIs. Andy, you'll blow your cover if you say back on the PA and one of your viewers sits behind you. Speak Japanese, Andy. No need. $50 miles to run to Corsa. 14 miles to go from Tudlow. Oh, we've got the strobe effects. Oh my goodness me, that's ridiculously bright. The mod has an option to turn that off because that is a little bit unrealistic. Even if you're in thick cloud at night, the strobes do not give you that same effect. Dante just tuned in, are we moving through some thunderstorms? So that's just my strobe
50,
light.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much. We got here Freckles Aviation. Oh, here we go. £2. Ha! Plane go brr. Ha! Pilot go alpaca. Thanks, Freckles. No. Right, we're gonna have to go off our INS navigation now. So we're coming to our last waypoint. So let's go to heading select. And now we need 071 on the course. Nav 071. And we want the course of VOR, which is 12.8. Just double check it's active. It isn't. So I have to ident that as well, remember? And then we're going to go to Vorlock. So we've got 40 miles to run, so we need to lose another 12,000 feet to make that restriction. We're probably a little bit high here, so I'm just going to get the speed brake out. Switch this over to Castro 12.5. Perfect. So these are the two VORs we're going to be routing towards. That's better. We're well on profile. The speed brake here is insane. So we're going to level off at 110. We'll have a brief level segment. We are just complying with that restriction at Tudlow. Guys, no ATC today, so probably head off of FlyJSim. We'll see. Get over the airfield and see if anyone comes online. Because we're flying a procedural approach anyway. We've got 9,000 feet to lose, and we only have 7,000 feet to actually lower profile. That's perfect. Restriction is at Corsa, so Corsa VR 12.8. 12.8 is active, box 1, so it's this DME distance here. Bit of a wind coming in here, look from the right, I think. Check on the INS. See, look, it's got a little bit berserk because it has no more waypoints, but we'll try and program another one shortly. Wind 283 at 22 knots. No, it shouldn't be that much drift. Slight crosswind to the right, tailwind. Thank you very much for subscribing, Gamer Pro Ryan. Welcome aboard. What's the weather in Copenhagen like? How do you know you're on profile, says Captain Lego? 3 times stable. All you need to know to be a pilot is 3 times stable. Maybe with this wind 150 at 6 knots, you did actually have you land straight in on 04 left. Yes. What, 3 times stable? Shut up, Marina. This James Bond theme music in the background, what is going on? Next. William Edward, that background music sounded like a can of springs being opened. It did. So actually a little bit lower profile needed. We've only got around 3,500 feet to go. We've got 20 miles to run. But it's better to be safe than sorry, especially with these restrictions. I'm actually going to add a little bit of thrust. So what I'm actually going to do now, I'll show you a neat little trick. You know, we're quite close. I'm actually going to program now the Corsa VOR into the irons. So if we go to waypoint number 8, because it hasn't been programmed, the Corsa VOR is north, 55.26.4, insert, east, 011.37.9, insert, there we are. And now I've programmed that waypoint in, look, 13 miles, 13 miles. So you can just program waypoints en route, 2.2 minutes. Look at that for a CDA as well. 2 minutes away and we have 2,000 feet to go and we're doing around 1,000 feet per minute. So it's just your 3 times table, guys. And I could now use the INS2 to navigate because I've just reprogrammed the VOI head as a point. So if I flick to GPS, look, you can see, look, it's pretty much bang on still. Slight difference. We'll stick to conventional nav. But it's quite cool to update it because you then have the time, ETA, so you don't have to work it on your head. Fortnite videos, do you fly for Ryanair? I don't discuss anything to do with my employment status. I fly for a European airline. But all of you know I secretly work for Japanese Airways. But yes, questions regarding my employment status are simply not answered. Oh yeah, look, 7 miles to go, 110 for the restriction. I think that worked out quite well, 3 times your height. Had to use a little bit of speed brake to get down. And we'll keep the speed up to 280 for a short while. I'm going to have to add thrust now because there's no water throttle. And we're now nearly overhead course of VOR. There's me adding thrust. Let's go to heading select. Just about to go over ahead station, and then in reality you go out on 057 then you get vectors, but there's no ATC tier today, so we're going to get rid of that arrival and we're going to fly the procedural approach. I'm going to route now direct to 12.5. Just do around 280 knots until we get towards Kastrup VOR, and then we'll fly the procedural approach. And again, you'd usually start the procedural approach around 6,000 feet, but we have to go outbound so far, like 18 miles, 36. So we're going to maintain 110, and as soon as we go overhead the station, then I'll initiate our descent from flight level 110. But we comply with the restriction, and you'd have to maintain 110 at this stage. Not much to see outside now, I'm afraid, guys. Nice to do some night flights though occasionally. So I'll turn the aircraft so we'll show you how to do the procedural approach. Get the ILS on standby now. Gosh darn it. 09. Cool, so all I've got to do is set the left course of the ILS and we're good. Michael, no ATC, none at all. I am still on the network, and I've got the FlyJSim map in front of me, but I'll log off shortly if we get overhead and there's no tower. Will, can we have the dome light off, please? You always like the dome light off. Yes or no? I think I prefer it on, but it is quite cool, I suppose. Put it back on just to compare that for you. On or off? We can compromise with dim. There is Copenhagen Airport straight ahead. Off, 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 off. I knew you'd say that. Off. All lights off. Okay. You guys win. Oh, Jack, not the time. Oh, crikey. Not, that's the problem with having no auto throttle. You don't want your speed up, nearly doing 300 knots. Everything off. Engines, electrics, hydraulics. So alternate today is Aalborg, if we had to divert. No need. Weather is absolutely perfect here in Copenhagen. Latest weather, QNH is 1009, so we'll make a note of that. Centre and altitudes. A few clouds at 14,000 feet, 130 at 6 knots. No excuses, guys. Zyle, I vote for blindfolded landing. So we're not using the INS navigation function anymore, so that's, you see we're travelling away from that waypoint, so those numbers are now increasing. So what I'll turn on is tracking ground speed, there we are, 343 knot ground speed. So 12 miles to go, we're now going to reduce the speed to 220 knots for the procedural approach. And then when we turn final, turn the music down as there's no ETC. I'm enjoying it, if I'm honest. So next outbound course will be 021, which will set up here on the left course there. Spectacular night, I know, really nice. There is Copenhagen, there's the airport, fly Tampa scenery. Ooh, this area of the city's just turned their lights on, they must have had a power cut. Oh, and this area too. Capital, a great way to spend a Saturday evening. Superb stream, great company and soothing music. What more do you need? Vodka martini, please, Mariana. There's 220 knots coming up. Just have that thrust. 6 DME to go till the VOR. So we're just coming in from the west.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
I need to change the membership and donation ping because it doesn't suit the new tone of the stream. It's too aggressive. Thanks a lot, RJank1282. Welcome on board as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content. And you'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoying custom emojis and chat as well. Thanks, sir. So let's go to heading select now. Set that outbound course for the procedure, which is 021. A bit of a sharp turn, but just about acceptable. And now we'll make that turn now to intercept. Just going to turn the flight directors off here.
50, 40,
See, we're going out
30,
there we are,
20,
like this.
10.
We'll now go down to 3,000 feet. Thank you very much, Charlie, for your very generous $25 donation, sir. He says, you're the best, love your vids. That's very kind, Charlie. Thank you very much, buddy. I'm certainly not the best, but glad you enjoyed the content. Very good of you, sir. Thank you. Right, there's 3,000. Indicated airspeed descent mode. Here we are. We're at idle now, so we can descend at 220 at 3,000 feet. Let's go there. Just intercept the outbound leg on this heading very shortly.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Icefire, as well, for the $2 donation. Very kind. Your livery as well. Thank you so much. Absolutely loving it. I hope you're doing very well. I forgot. Where's that? Hold on. I'm kind of cheating here. Yeah, I'm a little bit left of centre line. I kind of turned out a little bit too early there. There we are. There comes the radio. I was getting a little bit confused. I kind of cheated there. Stab out of trim. Uh-oh. This one, 4 lock. There we are. We're now outbound correctly on the 021 radio. Now we need to wait till 17 DME, which you'll see on both nav 1 and 2. But I am now going to flick to the ILS on box 2, which is 110.9. post-cruise checks. Lights on, logos on. APU's off, pressurization is set, 3.5 psi, seatbelt signs on. Recall. Oh, look at the lighting, it's so nice. Checks complete. And we want to aim to be at 5,000 feet by the time we turn final. So doing 1,000 feet per minute. Probably want to increase that rate of descent soon. In fact, I might just go. Just a little bit of speed brake here. Always go to flat 1 if we need it. That trim is crazy. Yeah, the trim is going all over the place. Oh, altimeters! My goodness me. Yeah, well done. QH1009. Workload is somewhat higher in this tank. Jim, come on, wake up. I've let you have a nice siesta on this sector. There we go. That's working much better. In fact, nice. Now, let's get rid of that speed brake. So outbound on the procedure now. Let's match that heading up. We're just waiting until 17 DME. ILS, what's the frequency again? 109. Active box 1. And we need to just flick that switch when we turn final. And we'd obviously have to get the idents as well, but that workload is a little bit high. Looking good, guys. So as soon as you get to 17 DME here, I'll bring up the aircraft so you can see where we are. Welcome to Sweden, everyone. Yeah, we just crossed the border, Tom. You're right. So there's 16, it's about to flick over to 17, I'll just show you where we are, look. Boom, there you are, right as we'd expect it to be. So let's turn around. Heading select. Give ourselves a nice little intercept heading. Set the course here to the final approach track, which is 217. The ILS 109. It's already picked up the localizer and glide slope. We then ident it. I'll try and do it very quickly for you. Nerve 1. There you heard it. Look, Kilo Lima Kilo. Perfect. So we know it's the correct one. I'm doing a lot of extra work here. Looking good. Ah, I'll take that. Look at that. Just 1 dot low. Amazing. Let's bring the speed back now. Ah, so happy with that. 180, and then we'll select flap 1, and that should put us quite nicely on the glide slope. The lock and glide slope is armed. Flap 1. Adding a little bit of thrust here. And we'll keep that heading to intercept from there. Krista Eklund, you're passing my house right now. Fantastic. Love landing on 22 right over the terminals. Exactly. So here comes the glide slope localizer. Oh, I'm sorry, just like I've said before, there's just some stuff you cannot teach. Localizer, glide slope capture in 200. That 5. So happy with that. Luke Bailey, what flying school would you recommend? I trained at CAA Oxford Aviation Academy, now CAE Oxford, but my recommendation if you're thinking about going into flight training moment would be to hold off due to the ongoing issues. The pilot market is pretty saturated at the moment. If you're in flight training, keep going at it. Hopefully opportunities will come around. I didn't say, guys, I did log off FlyJSim. There's no ATC at all. Flap 10. Going to maintain around 180 knots till about 80 Angel butter today, we'll see. Oh, Luke, you're planning to join in about 4 years. Yeah, I reckon in 4 years the market will be in a much better place. So approaching 10 miles now. I think we'll turn the old music down. There we are. We'll turn up the music here. There we go. You can enjoy the excellent sound you hear in this aircraft. 10 miles, doing around 180 knots, speed's going back quite nicely. I'm going to fly now around 160. Again, there's no water throttle here, so I'm just kind of managing the speed manually. I've never landed on 2-2 right here. Only 2-2 left. No excuses tonight. The 200 feels a bit different in pitch than the NG and the mod. It's a bit wallowy, but we'll see what we can do. It's been a lovely stream, guys. Really thoroughly enjoyable 2 hours. Missed approach altitude, which is 3,000 feet. Climb straight ahead to 3,000 feet and form ATC. That's my small missed approach. There's 160. We'll carry on configuring now. What was our landing flaps? To set bugs again. Now 133 knots. Bug around 138. Start configuring. Gear down. Flap 15. Landing checklist of flaps. Start switch is continuous. Recall is checked. Speed brake. Arm green light. Landing gear down. 3 green. Order brake is set to minimum. And we'll now select landing flap, which is flap 30. So speed we're going to fly 138 knots. So I have to add that thrust. It's going to be. Give yourself plenty of time. These engines do not spool up anywhere near as quick as the CFMs, and a little bit too much thrust. You see the speed's ballooned. We're looking good. As soon as it gets stabilised back on speed, I'll disconnect and fly. Looks lovely at night, doesn't it? Amazing. Alright, lights are on. Checklist is complete. Speed's okay. Just had a bit of thrust here. Turn off these cruddy fly directors and disconnecting. So 138 knots of the approach speed. Now that lighting is far more realistic as it would be at pitch black. I can't remember the exact wind speed, unfortunately. I think the wind's going from the left. Forgot to match the heading on the MCP as well, on a little Sperry autopilot. Otherwise, on localised glide slope at the moment, on speed. I think I will forgive me for flying a knot too slow.
1,000.
Checked. See from Fly Tampa, guys, it's a good one. We'll have a nice steady leisurely taxi in so you can have a look, and then we'll be departing from here tomorrow as well. So a little bit left of centre line, just going to correct that now. Tad fast, and just reduce the thrust. That's scanning, so I wasn't scanning my speed for a few seconds, looked at my speed a bit high, made the correction. My eyes are constantly moving around the flight deck, constantly revolving around this point though, the artificial horizon primarily. Now looking outside a little bit more, 3 reds, tad low, around about 500 feet per minute. Tad low on speed as well. Here comes the Pappy's back. Let's reset our target altitude. Just on the horizon. That's looking good. 3 reds again, tad low, so going a little bit low, so just again arrest that rate of descent. It's much harder in this sort of aircraft than a desktop sim. Continue.
200.
So 3 reds, tad low. We'll leave it at that now. with that. Light's so annoying. There we go. Oh, why would it go off?
100.
Checked.
50. 40. 30.
Check.
20,
Close.
10.
Hold it. Hold it. Oh, could be firm. Oh no! Bounce. Oh my goodness me, what's happened? I can't get the nose up. Oh my goodness me. Right, I'm going around, I think. I've just completely screwed that up. Oh my goodness me. That's a genuine go around from me screwing this up. Oh no, please don't watch. Go around. Flap 15. Same go around thrust. It's not a Sunday either.
Light slow.
Gears coming up. Oh dear, what happened? Rip. Oh dear, so at least it's a straightforward go around, climb straight ahead to 3,000 feet. I don't know what happened there. It's so different. I can't explain how different this feels to the NG. I need to lower my nose here. I need to watch my thrust as well so the engines don't catch fire. Come on, it's so sluggish, this aircraft. Speed brake's definitely stowed, isn't it? It should be. It is now. Alright, flaps to 5. Gonna go straight ahead to 3,000. And I'm just gonna self-position for another ILS. You did it on purpose? Are you joking? No, I had no idea. It was like a massive bounce. Right, there we are. Now we're accelerating properly. Flaps up. There is even a toga flight director here, I think. There is, GA. Let's follow that. Speed around 200 knots. Let's get some automation in. Make my life a little bit easier. So on. Indicated airspeed, heading select. There we are. Yeah, let's start turn downwind already. Reducing that thrust, and we'll do the after takeoff checklist. Right, I don't know what happened there. Right, I kind of came in and I held the attitude. It was a bit of a firm landing, but it bounced straight up. So I kind of bounced, held the attitude, but then the nose started coming up. So I tried to arrest the rate of descent again. I shouldn't have done it by pitching up, and then it just bounced again. I'm going to watch the replay later. But that was definitely different. There was nothing firm, but the go-around was messy. I only went around for a bit of fun. Crikey. Right, gear off. We'll leave the auto brake in minimum. 220 knots is fine. These can come off. Altimeters, we've got the QNH set, maintain 3,000 feet, and we're getting vectored round for another approach. After takeoff check is complete. Blame the co-pilot, exactly. Blame Jim. Right, I'm so sorry, guys. My goodness me. If you're watching the channel for the first time as well, welcome. We often get down first time round, but sometimes we do make little mistakes. Missed approach went okay, but it was really sluggish. It's the Airbus stick. It's rebelling from being used in a Boeing. Exactly, Longcat. Right, let's go downwind. Let's have another go. I genuinely didn't plan that either. It just went absolutely bizarre. I checked, and then it's such a delayed pitch response in the FlyJSim. Let's have a look here. Oh no, go around, rip, brace. Oh my goodness, you can always go around, speed brake. What happened? Oof, rip. Spilled my drink. Amazing. Fees will be deducted directly from your pay, Captain. Landed and took off about 3 times. Yep. Amazing. Well, thanks for all your patience. We're already downwind, beam runway 22 right again. We'll get there eventually. Fuel-wise, we're fine. We've got what's that? Over 10,000 pounds of fuel, so it's over 5 tons. We could do this all night long if we had to. Hit the like button for more bouncy landings. Tell the cabin what happened. Yeah, that would require a bit of a explanation to the passengers, cabin crew. Let's take 2. Hand selected bucket, so I could still go around at any stage, but I don't know if the speed brake deployed, or certainly on the NG if you add thrust and the speed brake's extended, they automatically retract. lit up like a Christmas tree. Passengers a little nervous, understandably. So we'll go out to around 10 miles and then we'll turn 5. Very bright cabin. It is a little bit there, yeah. I think they're stunned into submission. It doesn't actually look as bright as there, but it does in that view. What in the world? Big difference between that window seat. Right, take 2. So yeah, I mean, if I had that sort of landing in real life, a bounce landing, there is a bounce landing recovery technique. If you bounce, there's 2 options really. You can try to just hold the attitude, that's the most important thing. Don't raise the nose, because you're at very high risk of striking the tail. Not so much in the 200, but certainly in the NG 800, 900 series. And then, you know, if you have to initiate go around, be very careful raising that nose. But ideally, just hold the attitude, let it bounce. Don't raise the nose, don't let it drop off. What's very important though is if you bounce in the NG, do not close the thrust levers, because if you close the thrust levers, the speed brake can extend, which makes the nose come up and you strike the tail. Quite damaging. So ideally, what I should have done is just held the attitude, but I went around because it'd be A, safest option, B, a bit more fun too for you guys. But I wasn't planning that at all. Right, anyway, let's try again. Let's go 180 knots, flaps 1. Just wait until 10 miles. Start our turn. Flap 5. I don't like these flight directors, I just don't get on with them. Looking good, just below the glide slope, we'll accept that. Let's go auto approach. Now block the glide slope's arms, 180 knots. That's what you want to be doing on base leg ideally. Take 2. Landing gear still in good working order, I believe so. Let's do a fly past, that's the tower. How many can you count? Thank you very much, Andy, for the £5 donation. I've got the alerts off, but I'll have a quick look at Streamlabs here. It says, ladies and gentlemen, flight deck, first officer Jim speaking. Captain Kangaroo would like to apologise for that dodgy landing attempt. He's going to try and get in right this time. Buckle up. Thanks a lot, Andy. Appreciate it, buddy. Alright, let's try and get everything under control here. Speed 160 now. Flap 10. Approach speed is now 132, so we're going to fly 137. Second time lucky, isn't it, guys? Check, 3,000 feet, the missed approach altitude set. See what the wind is up here. Nothing, 158 at 12 knots. It's crosswind. We can figure a little bit earlier this time round. Get out flat 15. Speed again, 137. Start switches, continuous, recall is checked, speed brake, arm green lights, landing gear down 3 green, order brake is set to minimum. Selecting landing flaps now. Flap 30. I don't feel we had enough of the "Are you a real pilot" emojis when we went around and bounced 3 times. I promise, Mariana, we are nearly done. She said that's fine. Right, there we are. Stabilised again. Oops, speed's a bit low. Come on. Right, VREF here. God, I got a lot of thrust up here. Look, it's 75% N1. There's our target speed again, 137. Right, I'm gonna stretch this out. I'm gonna use all this runway. I've got a butter because I'm a pro streamer, not a real pilot. My head just says, "Mum, I love you." Text her now before she has time. Disconnecting. Now I know the MTA light can't be extinguished as well. Right. There's a bit of nose up trim here. 2 whites, 2 reds. Come on. Set a little bit high here. I'm struggling to fly this time. Right, 2 reds, 2 whites, looking good. I'm going to start the flare around 40 feet this time. That's looking okay. ISO's good, Pappy's good, sense line's good, speed's good. I am not looking good, chat.
300. Minimum.
Continue.
200.
Tad low again through your heads. I'm just getting that rate set a little bit higher than the last 100 feet.
100.
Here we go.
50. 40.
Check. Close.
20.
It's a really high check.
10.
Oh, our outtake end today, minus 161. No bounce at least, right? Oh, I need the buckets out. Come on, buckets. Oh, I can hear the engines popping in the motor. Right, speed brakes up. Don't worry about the engines exploding. 100 knots. I did the thrust way too much. They're surging. No problem. Oh dear, we've arrived at Copenhagen, ladies and gentlemen. Someone set the fireworks off in the cabin. Oh dear, don't celebrate just yet. Right, I can even see the flames reflecting into the flight deck. Right, I might have to call my engineer here. What happened was, I selected reverse thrust and I firewalled the thrust lever, and on the FlyJSim, if you're aggressive with the thrust, the engine surge. But yeah, not bad, guys. Minus 160 or something, wasn't it? So we'll take that. Jack, it's okay, buddy. I know you're very excited that I'm nearly finished, but we've just got down in one piece. Right. Thanks a lot for your patience, guys. We made it. What a superb stream this has been. Right. Oh, I'll try and at least stay on the taxiway now. Oh my goodness me. Right. Let's stow this bad boy. Unbelievable. Right, where the radar can come off as well. My goodness. I don't like the FlyJSim, it's hard. Cool. Well, we'll taxi on in. Amazing. Stripes can come off. Yeah, the replay is going to be fun. Watching the first bounce. The second one where we had flames coming out the landing off there. The second landing was okay, that was fine. The thing is, for me, and I mentioned it before in the FlyJSim, it feels very different to the mod and how I'd expect the NG to follow. The pitch is a bit, the only way I could describe it is as it's wallowy, the pitch. So when you pitch up, there's a bit of a kind of hesitant delay. It's very slow. It feels like you're flying much slower than you are. That's how it feels. Which is why on the first one it bounced much there, and I've got a tendency in the FlyJSim to flare a lot earlier. It seems to be a bit easier if you do that. Come have a look at this scenery though, guys. It is really quite spectacular. So we're going to go on Alpha, and we'll pack all the terminals here, so we'll park and stand around there. Excuses, excuses. You've got it, A6 ECD. That's what makes a good pilot. Make sure you've got your excuse ready. the old FlyJSim here. Yeah, the engines are still in good condition, even though we've surged them. Anthony, what did he say? I can't see it. Swing it up. Injured. Call the law firm of Fullerton, Smith and Waters at 1888 Alpaca Chicken. Amazing. Nurture, they're not like new. Yeah, I know, because I've just put them through their paces. Dante, heading off for dinner. Have a great evening. Thank you very much. And glad you enjoyed the stream. What our ground speed is. You can actually have a look here. Where is it? 27 knots. Perfect. Plainly, how often do engine surges occur these days? Very rarely. I mean, on an aircraft like this, you firewall it, you're going to have issues. But on an aircraft like the CFM, you can move them as aggressively as you like. So I'll demonstrate it for you. Look, if I just firewall it now, there you go. That's what happened when I selected reverse thrust. And I guess that happens in the when you do that on the older engines. Like I said, I've never flown an aircraft with such old engines before. Thanks for the fire warnings in chat. Superb. But this, yeah, have a look at this. The lighting from these spotlights is so good. So what we'll do, we'll wheel in via Alpha, and then we'll find a terminal gate here or something like that. Probably go on Bravo 10 or something like that.
$50, $40, $30, $20.
Lizzie wins it for the £5 donation. What have you got to say here? Oh no.
You're right, Captain. 3 times table is all you need to be a pilot. I counted 3 touchdowns on that first attempt.
Amazing. Lizzie wins of going with £5 donation. Thank you so much again. This is the individual behind the incredible Llama Airways International leak, which was provided to Alpaca Airways, and we got out there. Also the creator behind the Alpaca Airways radio advert, which we are making into a new stream intro. So thank you very much, Lizzie Windsor, wherever you are. Well, Buckingham Palace. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is the Flight Tampa scenery, guys. It's a real special one. Still, flight turn my strobes off. See the lighting on the nose was so cool. Looks great, doesn't it? Let's go around the corner here. I think this stand's calling us. And we'll be departing here tomorrow, and hopefully a lot busier, as there will be a FlyJSim event. So we'll depart from here, have a good look at the Flying Tampa scenery during the day. Michael Pogler, what do you use as your tiller? The twist function on the joystick. Now. Oh, they've closed this stand. What in the world? Why is there all cones around here? The world? Well, I'll take this one, Bravo 8. Sam Airbridge ready to connect. I love this. The spotlight, the illumination the spotlight has is incredible, just like in real life. God, I've got the corners for the stand as well. Whoa, slow that down. Stop. Oh, look at the light coming in here. Amazing. Right. APU's on the bus, 2 blues, 1 red. Engines dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Copenhagen. Welcome to Denmark. first of a time here, I believe. So really, really, really fantastic. Here comes the air bridge. The passengers shaking. Can't wait to get off this Alpaca Airways flight after that turbulent first approach. My goodness me. This aircraft might need to be wheeled in the hangar after that flight, but nonetheless, a thoroughly enjoyable experience again in the FlyJSim 7372. Absolutely love flying this aircraft. The challenge it poses is great, and it really gets you testing your kind of raw data IFR skills. And I hope that you can watch it and perhaps take things away and apply that perhaps in this aircraft and go grab it from the Explain Org store. I can't remember how much it is, but it's often on sale. Let's just keep an eye on that. It is worth its price. It is an excellent payware aircraft. Thoroughly recommend it. Yeah, what an enjoyable flight, and what a exciting approach car in the first one. I don't know what happened. Like, essentially, I'll talk you through it on the replay. But I flared, bounced. I landed a bit hard then. I could feel the rate of descent was quick. And then when I bounced, I tried to hold the attitude, and then when I pulled the stick back a little bit just to hold the attitude, the nose just shot up. I was like, why is it doing that? And then and then we bounced again. I just went, screw that, can it? I'm going around, otherwise the tail's going to end up on the runway. But yeah, the second approach much better, and again I had to flare a little bit high, but we got in eventually. We'll have a look at the replays, and we'll have a look at the chat here. So any questions that might come in. Luke Bailey, do you fly here in real life? It's been a long, long time, but we've been to Copenhagen. I have done. Brett, 100 knot taxi, nothing to see here. Oh, 27 knots, no problem. Fire warnings when you saw the engines backfiring. Fire deck to see. Freckles Aviation, I'll now fly with Llama Airways. Unbelievable. Thanks for subscribing, Mark M. Turbulent first approach to the fireworks on the second attempt at Andy. Thanks for the donation as well, buddy. Cool. Kira says have a good night. Amazing. Well, guys, let's have a look at that replay, because it is something I think which beggars belief. Turn off the older calm, relaxing music for now, and of course, let's now start the old funky replay music, if I can find it. There we go. Right, let's jump on into the old flight deck. Right, so bear with me. Let's get around for that first approach. There it was. Let's see what the dickens happened here. So let's look for the flight deck first, just as sort of self-critique. So it was looking good. Our approach speed was 137, so it's about VREF plus 3. And then we started to flare around 30 feet, I think. Held the attitude, bounced. I tried to flare a bit slow, then we bounced, and then the nose came up like this, and it just came up on its own. I wasn't pitching up, and then I bounced, and I'd still stop there, but I was like, no, at that point I committed to go around and look at our speed, look how low it is. So what I had to do was lower that nose. I should get to around 130 knots, still be on the runway, and I'm basically a foot off the runway here. That was really sketchy. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to handle like that. Let's have a look from the observer's end. So there we are, touchdown. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to bounce like that. It'd be pretty settled. The speed brakes didn't come up, and then look at the nose. The nose came out, and then the nose just shot up on its own, and then whoa! And then I went around. It's like, nah, screw that. Let's have a look from here. You can see it jumping on down. Love it how the runway's nice and sloped. But you see, with this attitude, I wouldn't expect it to bounce. Look, it just went straight back in the air again. And then I just held the attitude, and the nose just shot up. And I was like, right. And then I tried to correct it, and then I bounced, and I was like, oh, screw that. Just held the attitude. And then we went around. And I was a bit late going to flat 15, and didn't help. But that is the life of a single pilot desktop simulator. And then we went around. Should we look at it from a fare-paying passenger's view? Imagine if I firewalled that though, the engine surging, trying to go around. It would have been the first ever Alpaca Airways crash. If I'd firewalled it, it would have been surging away. Okay, we should have landed there, called it a day. And would not be happy if I was a passenger. Boom, that would have been very firm. And then we went around. Sketchy. Alright guys, let's have a look at the proper landing. Oh, you can hear the engines exploding already. We're on the wrong runway there.
500, 400, 300, minimum 200.
Look at this. Now see the flames emanating out the rear. So that was much nicer, and this one it didn't bounce. Nicely done. And then I selected the buckets look, and then yeah, I've got the flames popping out. Nothing to see. I might write that one in the tech log, guys. Amazing. Alright guys, well thank you so much for another incredibly enjoyable live stream. I hope you enjoyed that one again. In the classic FlyJSim 737-200, a bit of old school INS navigation, a bit of VR navigation, a procedural approach, a kangaroo approach you go around, and a second approach was much better, although I did force the engine to surge. Nothing to see here, but now you can enjoy the view from a fare-paying passenger's perspective. Guys, thank you so much again, as per usual, to all the moderators helping me run the chat smoothly. I really appreciate the time you take in helping me do that. It's very, very kind. Thanks to all the members as well for the continued support. Thank you as well to all the members that joined today. I'll catch you very shortly on Discord, probably tomorrow morning. Thanks to everyone that donated as well. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe too, to stay up to date with the latest FlyJSim content. We should be streaming it again, third stream in a row tomorrow. We'll be going from Copenhagen, where we are right now, to Leeds, Bradford, then to Cork around 4 or 5 o'clock UK time. So keep your eyes peeled on the social media feeds, and then I will be taking a break. Guys, stay safe in these incredible times, as I've been saying every single stream, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now. You say bye, Marina? She's saying bye too. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.